Hello, my name is Victoria Utter, and I'm in the MBA Critical Thinking course, and I wanted to talk about why critical thinking is important in the business world today. First off, I wanted to start with a definition of what exactly critical thinking is. I think a lot of people have heard of the term but don't necessarily know the exact definition. So I got mine from dictionary.com, and it says that it's a disciplined thinking that is clear, rational, open-minded, and informed by evidence. And that's how you make your decisions. Some of the main reasons why critical thinking can be important are pretty obvious. It can probably get you farther in your career the more critical thinking that you can do. But along with that, there are improved cognitive skills if you have critical thinking. You can make higher achievements in your life, whether it's personal goals or in your career. Critical thinking gives you a foundation for logical decision making, which is one of the biggest things that people lack. And it helps in stressful situations such as making decisions that you can't just make easily. It forces an intellectual self-improvement upon yourself, and it also allows you to become a better team player, which is a really big skill to have in the business world. It leads to a creative mindset, which in not just specific fields, but in every single field, you're going to need to be creative at some point in your professional time. And it helps you to be good in a business place. It brings better thinking. It's pretty obvious that with the skills that it can bring you and the benefits, that it's necessary for a business position. You're probably wondering how specifically you can apply this to your business profession. So having the ability to think critically can actually save business people time, because therefore they won't make mistakes the first time. If you take the time to think critically about the situation that you're in and the decision that you need to make, you're going to have less room for mistakes, because the decision that you make, you're going to have logic behind it, data, anything to support yourself. So you're going to make a decision that will have less mistakes. Also, not being taught in school anymore is a big issue. Critical thinking is not necessarily taught in school. We are taught skills that don't necessarily align with that anymore, and companies find that they actually need to provide training for it. So the fact that we take this critical thinking course in our MBA program can really help us in our fields. It brings new ideas to somebody that doesn't have this skill, and it fosters teamwork, like I said before. So in the business world, you're constantly working in teams through management, other coworkers, your boss, anything. It promotes new options for you. So new ideas, new options, new thoughts bring to the table a better person in the business world in your meetings. It creates a leadership skill within you that you may not have had before, that you can learn through practicing your critical thinking. You're going to see new perspectives. So when it comes to critical thinking, you have to have an open mind. And with an open mind brings in new perspectives. You can solve problems easier, better with newer ideas because you have a new open perspective on life. And you're going to see more potential opportunities through having the critical thinking skill. So that's how you can apply it to business, and it really help you in your career. I think the next step in this is that you need to know how to critically think. So not everybody knows how to do it, and it can be taught. It absolutely is a skill that can be taught, which is probably a reason why we have to take this course. But if you do your homework, then you're going to have data. You're going to have things to back up any decision that you might have in a meeting at your business place. You're going to have an idea that can solve the problem at the table, and in order for somebody else to listen to you, like upper management that you may be below, if you have the data to back it up, then they can't tell you no. It is just so big in the business world that if you use data and you back it up, you're going to become bigger and better in your career. You can build the skills for it. So if you go out and you find articles and you read and you write things and you practice it, I think that critical thinking can be taught very easily by yourself if you just go out and you read those articles, like U.S. News writes or Business Weekly or anybody that that big that writes articles like that. You can build the skills just by reading articles on how to foster your critical thinking. You can use others for help. So to better critically think, go out, go ask your coworkers, go ask your family members, go ask people that you trust in this world their opinion. They can help you. They can give you ideas. You can bounce your ideas off of them before you pitch it at work. And also to get to the root of your problems, critical thinking is going to come. So you're going to want to get to the root of every problem. You don't want to just solve the surface level problems. You want to get down deep to the root, and if you go down to the root and solve the problem and fix it from here on out, then you're going to develop better critical thinking skills. It also helps you develop critical thinking skills if you keep an open mind, like I said before. So the more open that your mind is, the new perspectives are going to come in, just like I said, and your critically thinking skills are just going to develop on their own almost. Lastly, just to prove that critical thinking is so important in the business world, I thought of maybe 3 different departments or positions that would have examples specific. So one of them was in human resources or HR. An employee relations worker is going to have to investigate some kind of a workplace issue at some point. There's a complaint about a boss. There's anything. HR has to deal with it. That's their job. They need critical thinking skills in order to be able to solve these problems, get down deep to what the actual problem is. Is it an actual thing? Do we need to take care of it? Is there a bigger issue here? Also, for a marketing department, critical thinking is huge. They make decisions for customers or clients, or just for the corporation they're working for, to put out brochures, to put out commercials, to put out billboards. Anything that marketing designs is all critically thinking. They have to critically think about what's going to go on this design, what's going to catch the client, customer, person out there driving around seeing a billboard, what's going to catch their eye and make them want to go to this place or buy that product. Marketing critically thinks every single day when they're designing projects. And lastly, I thought about how customer service has to deal with people. And I know for myself, I work as a bank teller part-time, and I have for a while now. And I can't tell you how many times I've had an irate customer come in because maybe the money that they deposited didn't go into the right account. Maybe we put it in somebody else's by accident. Maybe their check order came in wrong, not the check design that they wanted. Every day we deal with customers that come in that have problems. And we as bank tellers and anybody else that works in customer service has to critically think about, okay, how can I solve this problem without maybe going to see upper management? Okay, maybe I can't solve this problem. What do I need to get upper management to hear and listen to for them to be able to solve this problem? So every customer service worker deals with customers. They're unhappy a lot of the times when we're dealing with them. And we have to learn how to deal with them and come up with a critical thinking way to help them. And I just think that critical thinking is so important in the business world that it can't be ignored.